viewed as a natural and normal part of all culture. We change in part by adapting, adjusting to new conditions. So in a sense, I think the fiesta is a kind of adaptation. It's not like the Chamorros never have parties. They love to party. They love getting together, singing and dancing, and there's a number of Spanish accounts that said among Chamorros, the poet, someone who was a good speaker was considered a master. And people really admired poets and people who were good public speakers. So, you know, the Chamorros had a tradition of parties, Chamorro party Bukut, and what they do is they adapt to the Spanish party, which is a fiesta. So it's not like all of a sudden they're having a party. They've always had parties. Now they're adapting. They're making a change, an adjustment that's suiting new conditions. The new condition being Spain's taken over. Sometimes change happens as an appropriation, which I'll talk about today. That is, you take something that is a part of another culture and you make it yours, but you make slight changes, modifications. So I'll give examples of these later. That is, and this is an important point. When we think about Chamorro culture, some people have this idea that Chamorro culture is dead because they're defining Chamorro culture as ancient. That you have to live like the ancients in order to be pure Chamorro, authentic Chamorro, whatever term you use. But that is a very dangerous and actually a wrong definition of culture. Anyone who studies culture, anthropology, they'll tell you, culture is all about change. Because human society is about change. People are always changing. If each of you individually, if you did never change in your life, you'd still be wearing Pampers and still suck in a bottle. Human life is always about change. On an individual level, and then on a societal level. Societies change because the world they live in changes. You know, because I hear this all the time. People are like, you think you're Chamorro and you're using a washing machine, you know? Like, what kind of stupid statement is that? I mean, Japanese didn't have washing machines 1,000 years ago, neither did Koreans. Nobody's saying you're not Japanese because you're using a washing machine. Right? But people do this to Chamorros all the time. If you're really Chamorro, you shouldn't be using aircon.
I know.
You hear this all the time, this kind of thinking, and it's really, well, it's just meant to actually cut down the culture, but it's kind of crazy thinking because it is illogical. As a Chamorro, you do not want Chamorros today living exactly like they did 500, 1,000 years ago, because number one, we'd be mostly naked. You don't want to see me naked, okay? It's kind of naked people, okay? I mean, it's just not anymore.